past, it was very much a reactionary, preventative sort of methodology. It was about putting firewalls in place, putting antivirus in place, and that sort of thing. And to a degree, we still are there today. But maybe more importantly, today it's about doing proactive sort of things as opposed to just preventative things. It's about putting an intelligence behind technology so we know what to look for. My favorite phrase is, it's not about best of breed anymore. It's about the intelligence that sits behind the technology, which is much more important. And that, frankly, that intelligence can be, if you will, the bit of the technology that gives it the advantage. If the intelligence is good, if the actionable intelligence is good, then the technologies today should be able to resolve the issues ahead of time. So there's really not an issue, and you're not going to have to be responding to these breaches or these outbreaks or whatever they happen to be. Tomorrow, and tomorrow is not that far away, it's not going to be about individual point products. When I use the word integrated solutions, I mean that as wholeheartedly as I can possibly convey. It's about technologies drawing bigger pictures of more complex attack mechanisms. It's about, again, that intelligence feeding these integrated solutions. Tomorrow, if a technology doesn't play well with others in the sandbox, that technology needs to go. These technologies are going to need to feed their portion of the story back into this bigger picture. The term we use internally is that it needs to be pushing this back to a central point of truth that can drive what this bigger, multifaceted attack looks like. And then, as the mitigating steps or the steps taken to deal with those issues are rolled back out, then obviously the technologies need to be able to respond to it. And things are happening so fast, and frankly, are happening so in such high numbers that people need to not be a part of the equation. That all needs to be very much an automated sort of response. Not only from the collection of the intelligence, the dissemination, the actionable intelligence, but the response and the mitigation steps taken as well. The truth is, it's kind of like a global, virtual, real live chess match. You know, it's them versus us. And where the bad guys certainly have been making a lot of progress and moving and doing some very interesting things. That's not to say that the security space, or let me change that, the whole of IT and the infrastructure sitting behind IT to support hasn't been making some progress as well. Frankly, I would argue our progress has been more replete, more highly developed and refined and thought through than the bad guys. Otherwise, I would suggest you'd see outbreaks or occurrences that would have been much more devastating than they had at this point in time. And that's not to say that all of us aren't also looking forward, down the road 2 years, 3 years, and asking the question: what does security, what does information management, what does compliance need to look like tomorrow? And we're already in the process of developing those kinds of technologies today. So then the real question is, what does resolving tomorrow's issues look like? And we believe that, yes, it's about collecting intelligence. It's about disseminating what that intelligence means. One of the things that Symantec is doing right now is we're putting together 10, what we're calling offerings, 10 integrated solutions that are all designed to answer higher business issues, the mobility issues, the data center optimization issues, the compliance issues, the disaster recovery, business continuity issues. We think today the biggest issue that IT is having is this process of trying to integrate technologies that may or may not play well together. What we want to do is do all that back-end heavy lifting so that IT can be about the stuff that IT needs to be about. This is sort of our next step as we move towards that concept of delivering on the requirements for the information fabric.